62,000 jobs lost in July 2025. DOGE AI Trump tariffs explained. Imagine a workforce in free fall. 62,000 jobs vanished in July alone. What's driving this unprecedented trend? A mix of controversial policies, technological disruption, and global trade tensions. But here's where it gets even more complex. The ripple effects of these factors are reshaping entire industries, and not everyone agrees on who's to blame. Let's break it down. The numbers don't lie. According to a recent report by Challenger Gray Christmas, U.S. employers, both public and private, shed 62,000 jobs in July 2025. That's a staggering 30% surge from June and a jaw-dropping 140% spike compared to July 2024. To put this into perspective, over 806,000 jobs have been lost in 2025 already, surpassing the total cuts of 2024, 761,358. The federal government remains the biggest culprit, axing 292,294 roles this year alone. Technology and retail follow closely, with 89,251 and 80,487 job cuts respectively. The DOGE effect, or is it? Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has sparked fierce debate. The program's aggressive buyout offers led to 65,000 voluntary exits in just 2 weeks, including 24,000 in the U.S. Army and 10,000 in the Veterans Affairs Department. But here's the twist. DOGE's cuts aren't limited to federal agencies. Nonprofits have lost 17,826 jobs due to slashed grant funding, a 413% increase from 2024. Critics argue this is a hidden cost of streamlining government, while supporters call it fiscal responsibility. So, should we applaud efficiency or mourn lost community services? AI's double-edged sword. Artificial intelligence is both a marvel and a menace. Tech giants like Intel, 21,000 cuts, Microsoft, 15,000, PayPal, 2,500, and HP, 2,000 have reshuffled their teams as AI automates tasks once handled by humans. Challenger notes a 36% rise in tech sector layoffs compared to 2024. But here's what most people miss. AI isn't just replacing roles, it's creating new ones. The question is, are we preparing workers for the jobs of tomorrow or leaving them stranded in the digital dust? Tariffs and the retail domino effect. Trump's tariffs on global goods have backfired spectacularly. Retailers lost 80,487 jobs in July, a 249% jump from 2024, citing tariffs, inflation, and economic uncertainty. Auto manufacturers, meanwhile, cut 16,883 roles this year, blaming tariffs for supply chain chaos and soaring costs. But is protectionism truly shielding American jobs, or is it fueling a crisis in sectors that rely on global trade? What would happen if tariffs were rolled back? The hiring paradox. Amid the gloom, some sectors are bucking the trend. Employers plan to hire 86,132 workers in 2025, up from 73,600 in 2024. Entertainment and leisure lead the charge, likely due to seasonal demand. Insurance and automotive sectors are also adding roles. Yet hiring is down in tech, construction, and energy. Is this a sign of recovery or just a temporary rebound? What's next? The August jobs report will be pivotal. The unemployment rate dipped to 4.1% in June, but job growth in the first half of 2025 was 37% lower than 2024, with the Federal Reserve recently rejecting a rate cut and GDP rising 3% in Q2. The economic puzzle grows more complex. Your turn to weigh in. Are we witnessing the natural evolution of a modern economy or a crisis fueled by misguided policies? Share your thoughts. Do you believe the benefits of DOGE and AI outweigh the job losses? Should tariffs be reevaluated? Let's spark a conversation in the comments below. Top U.S. industries facing massive layoffs in 2025. Full breakdown. Brace yourself for a startling reality. By June 2025, a staggering 744,000 jobs had vanished in the U.S., with layoffs surging at nearly double the pace of the previous year. But here's where it gets controversial. The federal government leads the charge, accounting for 39% of all job cuts, a whopping 288,600 positions eliminated. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about budget cuts. Many federal employees are opting for early retirement or buyouts, fearing the axe will fall on them next. So, is this a necessary correction or a short-sighted move with long-term consequences? Let's dive in. The data, sourced from Challenger Gray Christmas and visualized on the Voronoi app, paints a grim picture of industries in turmoil. Beyond the government, retail and tech sectors are reeling, with 79,900 and 76,200 layoffs, respectively. Retail's woes stem from trade policy uncertainty and its ripple effect on consumer spending, while tech giants, like Microsoft and Intel, are slashing roles. Microsoft alone has cut 15,000 jobs in 2025. But is AI truly the culprit, or are companies using it as a convenient excuse to trim costs? The debate rages on. Here's a breakdown of the top 10 industries hit hardest by layoffs as of June 30, 2025. 1. Government, 288,600, up from 37,000 in 2024. 2. Retail, 79,900, up from 22,500. 3. Technology, 76,200, up from 59,900. 4. Services, 48,700, up from 27,800. 5. Consumer products, 31,400, up from 21,000. 6. Healthcare products, 30,100, up from 23,500. 7. Financial, 25,800, down from 31,500. 8. Warehousing, 24,400, up from 14,300. 9. Nonprofit, 16,900, up from 3,300. 10. Telecommunications, 14,900, up from 3,400. What's striking is the disparity in growth. Government layoffs skyrocketed by over 680%, while retail and tech saw increases of 255% and 27% respectively. But here's a thought-provoking question. Are these layoffs a temporary response to economic pressures, or a sign of deeper structural shifts in how industries operate? For instance, as AI advances, will tech layoffs become the norm, or will new roles emerge to replace the old? To explore this further, download the Voronoi app, available on iOS and Android, and check out their global perspective on the world's fastest-growing jobs by 2030. It's a fascinating counterpoint to the layoffs dominating today's headlines. What's your take? Are these job cuts a necessary evil, or a missed opportunity to invest in the workforce of tomorrow? Let's discuss in the comments. U.S. job market shift. AI tariffs spark surge in July layoffs, 62,075 cuts. A future of work is shifting beneath our feet, and not always in predictable ways. In July, American companies announced a dramatic surge in planned layoffs, with job cut intentions soaring to their highest July level in years. This spike, driven largely by tech sector cutbacks and broader economic pressures, signals growing uncertainty in the labor market. According to data from Challenger Gray Christmas, a firm specializing in outplacement services, U.S., employers disclosed plans to eliminate 62,075 positions last month. That's more than double the 25,900 jobs that were slated for cuts during the same period last year. In fact, July 2025 marked the second largest monthly job cut total for any July over the past 10 years, second only to the height of the pandemic in July 2020. But here's where it gets controversial. Much of this wave of layoffs is being fueled by two major forces reshaping the economy: artificial intelligence, and trade policy changes, particularly tariffs. Tech companies, which have been at the forefront of AI adoption, are leading the charge in workforce reductions. While some of these cuts are framed as efficiency moves or restructuring efforts, critics argue that many firms are using AI as an excuse to shed workers without fully exploring alternatives. And this is the part most people miss. While automation has long been a concern for manual labor roles, we're now seeing its impact ripple into white-collar jobs, especially in areas like customer service, data entry, and even certain aspects of software development. Meanwhile, tariffs continue to raise costs for businesses, forcing difficult decisions about staffing levels. So what does this mean for you? If you're in a field that's heavily influenced by technology or global trade, it might be time to reassess your career strategy. Are these layoffs a temporary reaction to economic turbulence, or the beginning of a longer-term shift in how companies operate? Here's a provocative question to consider. Should businesses be held accountable for retraining employees before turning to AI-driven layoffs? Or is it fair game for companies to pursue whatever cost-saving measures keep them competitive? Weigh in below. Do you think these job cuts are necessary adjustments or signs of deeper problems in the economy?